Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the September 26th meeting of the Glendale Elementary School District Governing Board. Please let the minutes show that we have all five board members present and accounted for. Ms. Segato-Jones, are there any changes to the agenda this evening?
Good evening, President Martinez, members of the board. No, there are not.
All right, with that, is there a motion to adopt the agenda?
I'll make a motion to adopt the agenda.
Second.
All right, with that, Mr. Jaramillo, how do you vote?
Aye.
Ms. Wilson, how do you vote?
Aye.
Ms. Pimentel, how do you vote?
Aye.
Ms. Bartels, how do you vote?
Aye.
And chair votes aye. Thank you. Moving on to please join me in a moment of silence, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance. Please rise. Jumping right into our next part of the agenda, our special recognition, Ms. Segato-Jones, Just Because Awards this evening.
Yes, President Martinez, members of the board, could we step down to do those? Good evening, everyone. For those of you, or welcome, and for those of you that are joining us for the first time, we always like this meeting where we get to honor an employee and a student, and we call it the Just Because Award. So what we do is every month we randomly select an employee and a student just because, on behalf of the Gusto Foundation, to say thank you for choosing to attend Glendale Elementary School District, and thank you for being an employee. So that's what we've done. So we're excited to begin that again this year. The employee of the month could not be with us. She's actually on vacation. It's actually Tracy Lutz, and she's in our accounting department, and she's on vacation, but she was very excited. And so we will embarrass her later, probably when she returns in her office. So, but that goes to Tracy. The next is the student, and the student that we have is from Menzendick School, and it's Esperance Sadok. And Esperance, could you come up, please? Come on up. Come on up. Menzendick family. Esperance, you have your dad with you. Come on up. Remember I told you we were going to invite you, and we're going to give you some more surprises. All right? So let's come over this way. And Deo is here with us, and he is translating as needed. Esperance, this is for you. This is a sign that says, congratulations, because you're a Just Because Award recipient. So we're going to ask that you take this home and you put it in your yard. And then about 8 o'clock, I'm going to drive by, and you run outside and wave at me, and I'll take a picture, okay? See, that goes in any language.
Make sure you know she's joking.
Okay, this is for you, Esperance. And then we also have chocolate, crayons, mosaic candy. Okay? You're welcome. You're welcome. You have a
Sister.
You have a sister? Yeah? Do you need more chocolate?
We have more chocolate.
Can this be for sister? Yes. Does dad need one? Let's give dad one. Now you have 3. Is that okay? Yes. Did you spend your gift card? Did you go shopping? Did you go shopping? Yes. What did you buy? Did you buy that Barbie we talked about? No. What did you buy? Not yet. Nothing. Okay, you need to buy something. Oh, okay. Great. Thank you. All right. I'll come bring you some more surprises at Menzendick, all right? Okay. Oh, and this is just because for you, too. All right. Can we do a picture of the family, and then we'll do everybody? So, Dale, come on. You've just become the family. As parents, come over here. There you go.
Gotta get her, or we'll just squish down.
Menzendick, come on.
I was gonna say, we'll just squish it.
Thank you. You want to just do them? Okay, next, very exciting for us. We also do, during the board meeting, we do a Kiwanis Student of the Month, and we also have a new Kiwanis recognition that we're going to do as well. So I'm going to introduce Patrick Kaiser. He's a past president, and I'll let him do the introductions to our new president from Kiwanis.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Patrick Kaiser. I am the president of the Kiwanis Club for another week. Well, not even, less than a week. Tonight I'm here to recognize the Kiwanis Club of Glendale Superintendent Student of the Month for the month of September 2024. The reason this award is so special is that this student has been chosen by the superintendent for their hard work, passion for helping others, and helping to make our community a better place. This month's winner is Avery Poe.
Avery.
Now we get to embarrass you. So. Avery is an 8th grade student at Glendale American School. Avery is a natural leader that leads with compassion and empathy. He is very involved with all aspects of the school. He has maintained an excellent academic grade point average and made the honor roll for the first quarter of the school year. He is the captain on the boys' flag football team and tutors other players with their schoolwork so they can maintain their eligibility to play on the team. When administration asked for volunteer to help a small group of kindergartners with reviewing their litter tracing, Avery jumped in to help and rallied others to participate. He became a junior teacher in that aspect. Avery is also a class representative for the Student Council. Avery has also volunteered his time to all of the fundraising events at Glendale American. Outside of school, he helps with his siblings and his mother, who works tirelessly to support their family. He also volunteers to help his mother prepare and organize service activities for her job. Congratulations, Avery. We have a couple things for you. We have a certificate to recognize your hard work, and we also have a $50 Walmart gift card from the Kiwanis Club of Glendale to congratulate you and encourage you to keep up the hard work. So now we get to do pictures.
Avery. Congratulations, Avery. Very proud of you. Could we have Avery's family and friends come up? American School, family and friends come up. He's got chocolate with him. Avery, you also get chocolate too, and the siblings. we did, right? Yeah, I think we did. Yeah. Thank you. Congratulations, Avery. Very proud of you. Thank you so much. Congratulations. Thank you.
And this year, we also, in collaboration with the Glendale Elementary School District, the members of the Kiwanis Club of Glendale have developed a new award that recognizes the school in the district that demonstrates unwavering dedication to servant leadership and provides significant service to local, metro, regional, and the global community. This award is called the Commitment to Servant Leadership Award, and each month in the district will be named, each month a school in the district will be named the Inspiring Change School of the Month. The first winner of this award is Glendale American. Congratulations. Congratulations. This will go to you. Glendale American School Signature Program is performing in digital arts, and the staff at the school has built strong partnerships with a variety of organizations to not only ensure students have a diverse range of academic and extracurricular opportunities, but focus on the betterment of our community. Some of the strategic and sustainable partnerships include, but definitely not limited to, Child's Play Theater, Honor Dance, the Great Arizona Puppet Theater, the Phoenix Theater Company, Glendale Union, and Apollo High Schools. More than 25 new partnerships in 2 years. Definitely community and school working together for the future. These partnerships with community organizations not only strengthen Glendale American Schools' ties to the Glendale community, but enhances student outcomes in a variety of ways. This trophy will be a traveling trophy that will be proudly displayed by the winning school for a month, and then will move to the winning school the following month. This will help build the solidarity of the GESD community and help recognize the hard work of developing our future leaders. Congratulations.
Can we also have the Poe family come up? Because, Avery, you helped earn this traveling trophy for your school. Come on up. Just do those.
I have one last thing. This will be my last official act as president of our club. I have truly been honored to recognize your students for their great work and proud to begin our new program recognizing schools for promoting service leadership in our community. I would like to introduce Roger Coulter, who will be our incoming president as of Tuesday, and will continue our great relationship with GESD. Thanks for supporting our club, you guys. We appreciate that. And for the friendships I have made over the past year, thank you guys. Thanks.
Thank you, Patrick and Roger. Welcome. We look forward to it. We're so excited about this new trophy traveling around. You know, I have a very competitive group, and so I'm sure they're wondering who it's going to be. I kept hoping, because I'm watching, you're reading, and I'm watching the crowd. And Janice is standing around looking, you know, I'm thinking, sit down, listen, you're going to miss your name. She was more about trying to take pictures of Avery and his family. I'm like, you better be listening because they're going to call your name any minute. Yeah, so thank you so much. We appreciate it. Thank you. We'll go back up and then we'll.
Patrick, thank you, sir.
Appreciate you guys. Absolutely. Thank you. Oh, absolutely. It's an honor to be able to work with you guys. Absolutely. You may see me, you may see him, but we'll We'll still be here, so.
All right, well, congratulations, everybody. So we're going to be moving on in our agenda. Ms. Sagata-Jones, are there any calls to the public this evening?
Mr. Martinez, no, there are not.
Okay, hearing that, we're going to move on to the consent agenda. Are there any comments or concerns with the consent agenda items? That, is there a motion to adopt the consent agenda?
I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Second.
All right, Mr. Jaramillo, how do you vote?
Aye.
Ms. Wilson, how do you vote?
Aye.
Ms. Pimentel, how do you vote?
Aye.
Ms. Bartels, how do you vote?
Aye.
And the chair votes aye. Thank you. Moving on to, we have no reports or information items, no action items, but we do have a discussion item, the governing board self-evaluation. Earlier in the week, requested that each of the board members go through the self-evaluation as discussed in policy BAA, submitted as part of the ASBA policy guidelines to go through the board self-evaluation, where we just kind of take a look at what we've done over the past year, and we rate ourselves based on certain key areas between how we work with the superintendent, how we work during meetings, how we work with district staff personnel, relationship to instructional programs, the financial management of the schools, and then ends with some sort of open-ended general statements. All the board members did submit information, so we were able to compile everything ahead of time. So for the sort of public record here, kind of go through them, even though we've kind of all agreed on a lot of these items, and areas where there was any sort of non-consent or disagreement upon a specific area, we'll kind of stop and talk about that really quick. So first of all, our board relationship with the superintendent, going through there, we had 4 questions with the board relation to the superintendent. All of them related our board relation as a satisfactory. The 3 areas we had to choose from. We had to choose satisfactory, needs improvement, or unsatisfactory. I believe we have a pretty good working relationship with our superintendent, so thank you for that, Ms. Sagata-Jones. I know that relationship works both ways, and we were all in agreement that we were good in that area. In our area for board relationships with the community, we had 3 questions kind of relating to our how we interact with the populace, the community at large. We were all in agreement that we felt like we had a satisfactory relationship with the community. Compared to, I mean, you can look at the news and compared to other districts in the area and compared to other districts around the state, I believe we have a great relationship with the community, and we just kind of sailed through a lot of that. So thank you all, and that's the big portion of who we have up here on the dais, and then the community that we have working with us. So thank you very much. Moving to section C, board relationship between members during meetings. We had almost unanimous on everything. There was some area Ms. Bartels had a question on. The question was, all members of the board conduct themselves in such a manner as to emphasize that individual board members have authority only when convened in legally conducted board meetings with at least a quorum present. Ms. Bartels, did you want to add any comments to that?
Well, anytime that somebody asks a question of a board member, it's always best to just, one, let the superintendent know that you're going to have a conversation with somebody and cover some information. That way you can make sure that you're giving clear and accurate information. And then 2, as a board, if there's somebody that's going to speak on behalf of the board, it's usually the president is the figurehead for us. So, we just need to remember what our roles are and just, be cognizant of that.
Okay. There was a number of questions in this self-evaluation where I went back and forth between whether or not this applies to me as a board member or whether this applies to us as a board as a whole. So I kind of flop back and forth sometimes like that, and you guys will probably see some of those answers as we get further into the self-evaluation. Any other comments on that section? Okay. Moving on to Section D, the board relationship with staff and personnel. Again, we had, for the most part, we had a couple dissenting voices here and there, so we'll kind of go through some of those questions. Second, question number 2, the board members make every effort to become acquainted with personnel of the district. I know this is something we all kind of struggle with in a way.
Yeah, that's just it. If people don't have the opportunity, the flexibility with their schedule to go and interact with the staff, I mean, that is going to be a hit on that. That's why I did the needs improvement only.
Yeah, and I know we'll have the discussion at some point where we start setting up. I know we had our school site visits last year. As things kind of settle down in a year, I look forward to seeing what school sites we can visit. So everyone look busy when we come out there. Make sure the kids smile. Same thing with the item number 3. Board members' personal friendships with district personnel are maintained without allowing them to affect overall board decisions and/or policies. Did you want to add anything to that?
I just think that is always a good one just a reminder that, when we're sitting here at the board table, there's sometimes, unfortunately, are uncomfortable decisions that have to be made, and that's just a reminder, with regards to board training to, kind of need to make sure that you're kind of following the rules a little bit.
I often joke with my family and say, I think I get along better with all the people I have to work with before I got on the board than after I got on the board, because I'm much more cautious about things I say and talk about around them. So it's not a reflection on any of you, Mike.
He's hiding.
Yeah, it's okay. Moving on to Section E, the board relationship with instructional programs. Item number 1, the board makes an effort to keep informed about instructional program by providing for periodic reports as deemed necessary and by periodic visitation in the schools. Ms. Wilson, did you have anything you want to comment on?
Yeah, I mean, I think we do a really good job of having reports on instructional programs. My concern was just I would like to see more periodic visitation in the schools rather than just have one. I think we just did one last, and a couple of us couldn't make it, so maybe have the opportunity to do another 2 or 3 maybe during the year would be nice.
Yeah, I look forward to scheduling some more visits in the future.
That could be a goal that we have. That
Yeah,
we want to have.
absolutely.
I believe last year we scheduled 6 visits.
Okay. Item number 2, board attempts to gain information from the community pertaining to the instructional program needs. Ms. Bartels and Mr. Jaramillo.
For me, this one, I just wanted to make sure when we're surveying our community that our questions are more to help us with regards, but also to make sure that we're trying to get as many voices in those responses as well.
Okay.
May I comment on that?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Hutter.
Yeah,
I had
yeah.
questions. I'm sorry.
Oh no, I'm in agreement. I'd like to see us develop more avenues for the community to be able to offer us more input so that we are meeting their needs and being more responsive in policy.
So the one that we do is annually is the parent survey, and then what we did this past year, we always try to revise those surveys to make sure we're getting the right information. So the superintendent's parent advisory group actually last year went through the survey and helped us refine some of those questions. We'll continue to do that. And also we'll ask administrators to ask their parents perhaps to attend the coffee talks at the sites. And that just gives us more opinions, out there from the families. So we can definitely do that.
Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you. Section number F, or letter F, board relationship to the financial management of schools. It looks like we're all in agreement here. I believe as a district, we've made some tough choices, but smart choices as far as the fiscal management of the school. So again, that is a tip of the cap to our finance team over at the district office. So thank you very much. Even though it's not the nicest conversations to have sometimes, but tough decisions rarely are. All right, moving into section G for general statements. This was an area there where our board members each got to list and order priority of challenges that the board faces. And I will just kind of go down the dais here and let the board members kind of speak to their own priorities as to what they saw regarding to the challenges over the past year and what we see as challenges in the upcoming year. So we'll start down on the end with Mr. Jaramillo. Tell us a little bit about your 4 challenges there.
For me, the first one was improving student outcomes, so that way we are able to maintain and increase the pool of students that we already have, and of course, improving their lives. The second one that I marked down was the declining enrollment, and I think it kind of ties into improving student outcomes, because once we improve those student outcomes, parents are going to see the results, and then we're going to get all the better marketing from it as well. And the third thing was improving open communication. I marked that one just because of some past comments we've heard, and we are all in this to improve the district, and we are all working hard to improve the lives of students and making sure that we address the concerns and needs of every staff. So improving that open communication, I think, is going to be important, so that way that ties into, improving student outcomes, the declining enrollment, and that way we can cooperate and work together much more efficiently. And then I put increasing staff input on district policy. I think I mentioned it before, but I mentioned it before with community, but also with staff. I think being more responsive in our policy, especially with the people that are most directly impacted by the decisions we make here, would be beneficial to us as a whole. And I think, it all ties into improving student outcomes and addressing that declining enrollment.
All right, thank you. Ms. Wilson.
Well, the first one was obvious. Declining enrollment, I think, is my main concern. Also staffing. It's, no big shock that we always are challenged with staffing at the beginning of the year and throughout the year as well. And maintaining staff is always a challenge too. And then I just put for the third one, money. That's where it's at.
Always a challenge, forever a challenge, I guess. Ms. Pimentel.
So my first one was charter schools. Up and down 83rd Avenue in a 1-mile section, there are 2 new charter schools, and they're bright and shiny, and in my opinion, they will never be able to provide our students with what we have here in GESD, and I think it's a shame, and I'll stop there. Funding, of course, we are always in need in funding. We never have enough. And that's not because of anything here in our district. That's at the state level, and we need help with that, which goes right into my next one, the School Facilities Board lawsuit outcome. And I don't know when we're going to get an answer with that. I don't think anyone knows. But the outcome of that's really going to be important, not just for our district, but statewide. And, of course, declining enrollment, which I was at a conference in Texas, and when they heard how much we've declined, they've all had declining enrollment as well. And it doesn't sound, their whole funding thing is completely different than ours, but it's an issue in Texas and for the same reasons with charter schools.
All right, thank you. Ms. Bartels.
Well, I think all of us can agree that improving student outcomes is first and foremost on all of our minds. But the challenges that we're dealing with every day that also impact that in the negative are, the declining enrollment, the funding, whether it's the formula, this pot can only go to this way and you can't move this money from that pot into this pot, and, you're always robbing Peter to pay Paul. The capital needs, we just are not in a situation where even with bonds we can do all the improvements and just normal structural repairs that we need to do. And then as well as staffing. And that's why I said, I consider them all kind of equal because they're all parts of the same puzzle and we need all of those parts.
All right. My first priority was to capture and retain students within the GESD boundaries. I believe we have a great product here. We have great extracurricular activities. Flag football going on right now, I believe.
Yes.
Yes. So I mean, you don't get that kind of thing at a charter school. You don't get those kind of after-school things at a charter school. We have those signature programs that have really kind of started to come into their own. And really kind of take off, dual language, the STEM, the digital arts, things like that. Those have been a great benefit to those school sites, as well as continued academic success. I mean, we saw a big jump in a lot of our schools last year when the letter grades come out, and rumor is we're going to see another sizable jump when the letter grades come out this year. So I'm very optimistic that we continue to improve in those areas, and by making a name for ourselves, we make a destination for these kids to go to. The second one is to ensure the solvency of the district financials, making well-informed decisions for long-term health of the district. As I said at our meeting last 2 weeks ago, I said you cannot make long-term decisions on short-term information, and we need to continue to do that to make sure that we're not in a situation where we were several years ago. That's going to continue to be a struggle. We're going to continue to see, charter schools. We're going to continue to see ESAs. Those are just going to be a fact of life now. So we have to kind of accept that as it is and continue to make smart financial decisions. And then, of course, continue to fight for better school facilities to be paid for by the state instead of levying that burden on our local taxpayers with bonds and overrides that only affect our tax base within our community. If you're having fair and equitable school funding, that funding needs to come from the state at large. So if you're in an area that has a very a high wealth district, that doesn't mean that our kids should experience a shortcoming on facilities just because we don't live in a Scottsdale area code or a Fountain Hills area code or an area code where you have a very highly affluent class of houses. So those are my 3 priorities. So I think we're all kind of along the same lines: enrollment, funding, facilities. I'm glad to hear that we're all on the same page. So thank you. Item number 2 under general statements, to list any weaknesses you have observed in the operation of the school system. So we will start with, we'll start down on the end again, Mr. Jaramillo.
I put the same thing as one of my challenges, just improving communication between staff, admin, and the board to improve policy. And again, make it more responsible to the needs of those most impacted.
Okay. Ms. Wilson? Oh, you said none. Okay.
Until I read everybody else's.
Is there anything you want to throw in right now?
Little light bulb went off. Bullying, discipline, those basic. And then Ms. Pimentel said, I'll let you tell it. But anyway, those things after I already read them.
Okay. It's okay to steal Monica's thunder because you came first before her, so it's all right. Ms. Pimentel?
Here comes the thunder. The ability to hire and fill district vacancies, and we're all trying to pull from a pool that is shrinking, yes, for lack of a better term, and we are trying our best, and I know everybody here is doing their best to do everything they can for our students. And wouldn't it be great for everybody involved in this district all the way around if we had every single employee slot filled? And it's not specific to us. It's a nationwide problem. So that was one of the big things for me.
All right. Ms. Bartels?
I guess I'm the lightning because I said staffing challenges, impact everything. I mean, from top to bottom, it just impacts everything that we do.
And I wrote, and this is a concern I heard while out in the community, knocking on doors, gathering signatures and such like that, and talking to a lot of parents. The concern I heard was a lot about bullying, and I don't know if that's ever changed anywhere from all schools ever. But it's always a concern, and especially we had some movement from students from one school site to another, and we had some some changes in local boundaries and things like that. And there was a concern where I heard some parents talking about bullying. So I would just like to request administration to see what information our district does to handle bullying, just for our information. So if someone comes to me and say, hey, what are you doing about bullying? I would like to be able to give a more informed answer to say, this is what we're doing right now. This is how it's going to impact it. So maybe we could have a discussion on that on a future agenda. All right, item number 3, list any significant accomplishments made by the school system during the year. Mr. Jaramillo.
I put signature programs like the dual language program, the system of care, and the amazing resources that it provides to the community. Our community engagement events that showcase our student performers, student creativity, and our love for the community. And then I also put this down, not directly by the school system, but by products of the school system. How the school system inspired community members and educators that care for it to actively volunteer to bring our bond overrides across the finish line. And of course, our creative, bright, and amazing young minds that have been shaped by our educators, the boots on the ground. So, thank you.
All right, thank you. Well said, sir. Ms. Wilson.
Well, of course, we were awarded the best school district in Glendale, so I think that says a lot. And again, we are offering one of the best benefit plans, I think, in the state, probably. It's very robust, and we have not raised any premiums, which I think is something to really, celebrate. Also, I put also the successful system of care center. I think it's just doing amazing things for the community and for our families. And then the continuation of our dual language program. I think it just gets better every year.
All right, thank you. Ms. Pimentel.
So one of the big things that I think is that was big was passing the bonds and the overrides and the sale of land. And thank you to everybody here that was part of that, because that's so important for our whole community. More partnerships and increased activity at the system of care. And I see Mr. Parcells in the back, and I know that he's working really hard with our whole community. Every time I go over there, there's something interesting and intriguing going on. The new building and upgrades at Bi-Sci South, which my kids went there, so I hadn't actually been there in a long time, and it was just amazing to be there. Increased cultural awareness in our schools, including the dual language program, and at some point I forget what it was called, the statement for acknowledging tribal land, and the increase in letter grades for our schools, and looking forward to seeing those soon.
All right, thank you. Ms. Bartels.
The successful election outcomes, the fact that we were able to increase salaries across the board, and the continuation of DLIP into our upper grades. So I'm excited about that.
All right. I was pretty much along the same lines, increase in academic accomplishments across the board. And like I said, I think we're going to continue to see those increases this upcoming year when those letter grades are released next month. A-rated schools, that was awesome to see. And of course, the signature programs coming into their own. It's great to see these programs that were like a glimmer of hope in the eye of the superintendent at one point, and handed it over and with the principals and their staff and getting things going. And the increase in how well these programs are doing is just an amazing accomplishment, and that has entirely everything to do with the staff at these school sites and the support of the district office. So congratulations to all of you, and thank you very much for all the hard work that you put in for that. And with that, it was the last question for the board self-evaluation. Are there any closing thoughts from any of our board members? I would like to point out that we're reading a summary, and these are all answers that we came up individually from each other. We submitted them on our own. We worked on them on our own. We submitted them over to Liz, who compiled all that information and put us together a summary. So even though you see a lot of crossover in the topics and the grades and stuff that we talked about up here, these were all items that we, as a person, as opposed to as a board, these are all as a person that were important to us. And it's great to see that sort of, that we're all kind of on the same page. So thank you all. I appreciate all the work that we do together. So thanks for getting us through this. All right. That ends the item number 7 for a discussion item. Moving on to number 8 for future board meetings and events. Ms. Sagata-Jones, what's coming up for us?
If you look at October 3rd, I want to make some adjustments. October 3rd meeting, that is parent-teacher conferences, but we have the annual financial report that has to be done at that time. I'm recommending that, and then we'll have 2 quick HR items as needed, but I'm recommending that on October 3rd, that be a 4 p.m. telephonic meeting, because it will be less than probably 5 minutes for that.
4 o'clock? You guys check your schedule really quick, make sure we're good with 4.
Should be.
We just can't cancel that because it has an October 15th deadline.
Okay.
All right, so Liz will send out a updated invitation because we can't change the time on
Yes, we will.
I just want to make sure you guys don't have any conflicts or traveling at the time.
I can make time.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
Well, it could be telephonic.
It will
It'll
be
be a
telephonic.
quick 5-minute phone call. Just tell them you need to go to the restroom, and then you'll be the guy in the bathroom with the stall door closed, talking on his phone, and everybody will be looking at weird.
Just don't be surprised if you hear. Just kidding.
Just put it on mute before you flush.
What was that? Whoosh. Okay, Mr. Guy Jones.
Yes, and then also, we will have the October 24th board meeting, as you can see what's there. Hopefully we'll have state assessments. New data came out today where they were fixing files, so hopefully that'll be fine. We will not have letter grades by October 24th. That will not be until prior to November 4th. It could be, but it may not be. And then we'll look at ASBA bylaw changes as well. Then I'm asking in November, that meeting is scheduled for November 14th. I'm asking to move that to November 21st because there will not be a quorum.
Right.
We're traveling to Santa Fe for La Cosecha, and so if we could move that to the 21st, and then that's when we would put the superintendent's annual report.
I will be traveling on the 21st. I could probably call in. But if we can have Ms. Bartels run the meeting for us for expediency,
Sure.
I should be able to call in while I'm on the road. Everyone else good with the 21st? Yeah. Okay. All right. Sounds good.
And those are all the changes for now.
Okay. Any comments from the board on the future meetings coming up? All right. Moving on, summary of current events. Ms. Sagata-Jones, what has been going on in the past couple
Oh,
weeks?
yes. I first of all want to recognize the artwork in the back from Smith and American Schools. It's very nice, so we appreciate the art teachers and staff for those back there. Again, Kiwanis, great to have them here and the new launch of their really working towards servant leadership. Also with Kiwanis, they're getting ready for Read Around America, where they donate the books for our third graders, and we're getting excited about that. Also excited, today we were at, board member and board clerk Bartels was with me, we're at Landmark today, and they did a lot of their showcasing of their related arts, and it was really great to see that. We saw a lot of the theater productions as what we saw today, and they continue tomorrow. So it was wonderful. There was a lot of parents that came to see the students as well. So that was great, and we're excited that on Saturday and then coming up in later in October that we're actually sending teachers, staff to the Arts and PE Fall Summit, and also the Visual Arts conferences, and also to the Band National Conference. So we're able to send staff to those, and that will help build these signature programs as well. So we're excited about that. School visits, as I said, have been going well. I've seen a lot of collaborative teams going on, teachers working extremely hard and looking at the new assessment tool we have, the DNA, and working through those. So it's been great to see that. Want to thank all the it was National IT Professional Day on September 17th. So thank you, Tom and Gladys and all your staff for the work that you do. And then on October 2nd, it will be GSD Maintenance and Custodial Workers Day. So Joanna, to all your staff, and that will be out and thanking them. Parent-teacher conferences are next week. We look forward to that. And then just an update on SFB hearing. We had a settlement meeting scheduled for tomorrow. It's been canceled by SFB, and so I guess we won't be having a settlement. So we'll continue. We have the hearing set for December, so we'll move forward with that December date for the hearings on that. And then other than that, things are going well. Thank you to everybody and the work that you do each day.
All right.
Forget one thing, sorry. I did present yesterday at the Chamber of Commerce Workforce Readiness event. And so I sat on the Education Committee for the Chamber of Commerce, Glendale Chamber of Commerce, and they asked the Education Committee they asked superintendents. It was from Peoria, Pendergast, Westmac, and of course here at Glendale. And they asked us to present with what we're doing as far as business partnerships and how we can get the businesses involved. So everybody took a different take. What I presented on was the system of care and the wonderful services that we have. And my business partnership that I selected was Molina Healthcare because they've been instrumental in some of the services that we're providing. So it was well received. It's great to get out there and showcase the work of what the system of care does. And we hope that other businesses were there. We hope that they'll join in and start to contribute to the great work that we're doing at the system of care. So I want to thank Dennis for his work, Louis for his work, also Sarah for her work, Sarah Balder. We have Lydia also for her work, Hortzman, and we have Andrea Ariano also for her work at System of Care, as well as all this sales and social emotional and behavior specialists and classified staff at System of Care. It's a great place to be. And I think, was it yesterday? Yesterday, I think Dr. Lafitte set the numbers. We're servicing over 800, close to 800 families and over 1,700 individuals with food boxes and things. So it's wonderful, and that happens bi-weekly. So all of those that come out and volunteer for that, thank you. We appreciate it. So very proud of what's happening at the System of Care and all the business partnerships that we have. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Mr. Jaramillo. What's been going on the past couple weeks?
A lot of things, but I'll keep it short. I jinxed the weather in the last meeting, so I apologize, and I'll pass it on to Marianne Wilson.
That did not go unnoticed, and we were talking about it before we got here, that it's 113 today, and it's all Hector's fault.
It's your fault. It's your fault.
So there you go. All right. Ms. Wilson.
When it comes to the board evaluation, it is something that, I kind of dread every year, but it's a wonderful thing because it really makes you stop and look at the district and remember all the wonderful things that we really do. And we do have quite a few good things going on here in the signature programs and system of care and, of course, the great staff that we have. Just want to take a minute and thank you all for everything that you do and get through the weather.
All right, Ms. Pimentel.
Who remembers it being over 100 in October when we were kids? I swear, it's stay cool out there. Whatever you're doing outside, stay hydrated. But I would like to thank the Horizon Dancers for the entertainment. ASBA had their county meeting here on Monday night, and the dancers were just amazing. We had some technical difficulties, but that did not stop our dancers, and they were just phenomenal, and we had a lot of compliments on the entertainment for certain that night. In the next couple weeks, we have so many district events coming up. There are trunk or treats, there's STEAM night, there's literacy night, there's all kinds of great things. So I'm speaking here to this crowd. I know y'all know what I'm talking about and you plan on being there. For anyone watching, please take a look at our calendar online and choose an event and check it out because we have some talent in our district, and I invite you to check it out.
All right, thank you. Ms. Bartels.
Well, I mean, obviously, I was out of country for our last meeting, so I just want to do a good shout out to congratulate all our students and the schools that helped those kids to find their successes. My first day back was yesterday, really, and was up and running with food box distribution in the morning, and then attended STEAM at Desert Spirit last night. Very well attended. Kids were having a blast. Parents were enjoying watching them. And then, like Ms. Agata-Jones pointed out, I went to the theater showcase today. Again, these kids were, when you've got third graders that actually know their lines, they're not reading the script. I mean, you're just like, wow, I wouldn't have been able to do that at third grade. But just every single group had some parents there, and schedules are tough, but there were parents there, every single one of them. So, it's a testament to the work that is happening every day in our district. Thank you very much.
All right. It does seem like it's been a busy couple of weeks. To touch on what Ms. Pimentel said, we had the ASBA county meeting here. They do once a year. So we were fortunate enough to get chosen as I guess we volunteered. So I'll say chosen. We were chosen because we're the best. So, we volunteered to host the ASBA county meeting here. So it is a meeting where all board members from Maricopa County school districts are invited to come and attend. You can sign up and register. We had Horizon came out with some dancers who looked amazing. And even with the technical difficulty, it was absolutely awesome because at some point during the performance, the music stopped. And the kids didn't. They just kept going. And then the teacher started singing the words, and it just kept going. And finally, we got the music going, but it's like nothing ever stopped. It just kept going. And so it was such an amazing thing to see. And the unsung here is the ladies who prepared the food for the districts that were here. That was the number one thing number two thing, I'll say, I'm sorry, the kids. Number two thing is the food that was here. They said you've kind of set the bar for all of the other 14 counties that they have to go to, and they will never have it as good as they had here that day. So thank you very much. It was delicious. It was a great event. It was very informative. Ms. Wilson and Ms. Pimentel were both there with me, and we got a chance to talk to other board members across the county. So that was awesome. Earlier this week, I had a typical dad moment where it was my turn to cook, and I didn't feel like cooking. So what do you do when you don't feel like cooking? You go to pizza. So we sort of crashed the By-Size South Peter Piper Pizza Night the other day. And let me tell you, you guys turn it out. I mean, I've never seen, it's been a long time since I've seen a Peter Piper Pizza that packed. It was so full of people. And it's like not just like normal, like kids, like tons of kids. And the only bad thing is that I think it looks like they got rid of the ice cream eating contest and they had a slushy drinking contest, which sounds way more horrible than an ice cream eating contest. I don't know why anyone would ever volunteer for that, but it was a great event. Thank you to Peter Piper Pizza. I hope you guys got a huge chunk of money out of that. I know a big portion of that was from me and my family and my kids and their 30-minute free games that they took off with. So, also, just came back from ASBO International last week. Mr. Berrigan was there. Along I saw Shannon was there as well, as long as several other school district people from Glendale. So it was great to see everybody out there. It's a great professional development opportunity. Got a chance to meet people from other districts, and I was surprised to learn that at this conference, the international conference that has people from all over the U.S. and outside the U.S. and Canada and South Africa, that the Arizona contingent made up about 10% of the attendees of that conference were all from Arizona, which just shows you the absolute commitment of school districts within Arizona for bettering ourselves and making us better at what we do. It is not something that it is not an outlier. It has always been like that, and it will always be like that. So help me God. As for school district events, like Monica said, and like Brenda said, go to school district events. Flag football championship next Tuesday, yes, at Landmark? Yes? I will unfortunately miss it. That is my first T-ball practice of the season. So I coach 4 to 6 year olds in T-ball, and that will be my first practice of the season. So I will not be able to make it. but I hope the rest of you are there to represent and to cheer the kids on and to see all them running around the flags. It is a great time. I know my middle daughter played flag football for many years, part with the district and part with the city of Peoria. So it's always great and a lot of fun to see. And there's always an elote man out there by the gate that we pretend not to see, but we really know is there. Wink, wink. Other than that, thank you, everybody, thank you, board members, again, for getting all your information in for the board self-evaluation. It's always one of those things where you're like, is it going to be good? Is it going to be bad? At the end of the day, all it has to be is useful. And I hope you all learned a little bit something out of there. I think we had some good conversations, so thank you for being very constructive and productive about that. So with that, is there a motion to adjourn?
Make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Have a great evening, everyone.